Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another review of a TBATE review. Yes, I'm Richie Roberts. I have, you know what? Actually, I'm doing it backwards, aren't I? Yeah,
A little bit.
I am. All right, so I'm here with Hoshi Nugget
Oh, hello.
and Fenris Arun,
Uh,
both of whom are anime onlys. So this is their first time seeing all the stuff that they are seeing. And Moonlight Sparks,
Hi.
who is halfway through the story of the light novels. And
At least
I
the
have,
book.
yeah, well, I mean, light novel, audiobook, it's all the same thing. It's the same story. One of it's just spoken aloud and the other's not. So
Fair.
I'm just going with the novels at this point. And I have read the novels, the comics, and now watching the anime. So I mean, we're pretty good as far as like certain things. And of course, if there are spoiler stuff, we will just say, "Hey, spoilers," because we don't want to spoil the other two. That being said, I want to start off this episode with what questions do you guys have as the anime only people? What questions do you have that might have gotten that might have popped into your brain from watching this episode?
why did a wolf mate with a jackalope?
Yeah.
Look, it's a magical
Listen,
world.
it's a
I don't
world.
know.
We're going the same direction. Love it.
It's a magical world. Look. Nobody
You just told me
asked.
magic, and I would have been okay with that answer.
Yeah, magic. Okay,
That's
nobody
literally
asked.
it, man.
Nobody asked how a hippogriff came into being. It's just magic.
That's that all the time.
A horse fucked an eagle. We don't know how. Or maybe it was the other way around. You don't know. Who's the mom? Who's the dad? We're not here to ask these hard-hitting questions. That's what panels at conventions are for. I expect someone to do a fantasy panel where they explain to me how certain animals came into being.
Besides, the real question is a
damn it,
hippogriff
now-
born
now I
in
wanna
from
learn
an egg or
science.
live born?
Someone could benefit from
Oh,
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
Medicine
Somebody literally just followed us on Twitch and we got the pop-up for it.
Nice.
Because I didn't turn the sound alerts off. So there we go. Yay, we got a follow. Yay. All right, I have muted all of that stuff.
They followed at the wrong time.
No, they followed us on Twitch, so I'm happy for that, but like I just found it was kind of funny. Also, so getting back to any other questions you guys might have. I mean, the wolf things look cute. I was happy with that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah. Any other questions before we dive into like just vague description of the episode?
Two.
Yeah.
Oh, you go
Okay.
first.
Go ahead.
Go for it.
I was gonna say, why do the wolves hate the acorns so much?
They were thrown and hit in the face with them. That's why.
Yeah, that's it.
That's basically it. There's no.
It's-
I mean,
it's
you
not
take
that
it. You
the
take an
acorns were the
acorn.
problem. Yeah, it's not that the acorns were the problem. It's that Art needed a distraction.
Yeah, old gray. But yeah, you take a acorn to the frickin' schnoz at like whatever speed he threw them at, and see how happy you
whatever
are
the fuck.
about it. Yeah. A magic powered throw of acorns to the schnoz. You tell me how comfortable you are after that.
It's fair. I'd probably find the person who threw it and pee on them.
At least.
That does sound like a wolf thing to do, to be fair.
Mhm.
Yeah. Anyhow, yes, Hoshi, you said you had two questions. Go for it.
What's wrong with his chesticles, his heart mana thingy mabobber,
Oh,
and also
that's
little girl.
that's really interesting. I'm glad you brought it up. Spoilers.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then number two, little girl, you're gonna get your comeuppance if you try to. Why?
Yeah.
It's-
Don't worry. You'll learn to love her.
All right, so there's this. All right, so let me explain something about anime in general. There's this herring, and it's very very red,
Uh-huh.
and that's what you saw
They
here.
like to sit and point at it and be like, ooh.
Hey, I know a red
alright.
herring. Fred has been trying to bust him for years.
Yeah. All
I
right, so
told you it wasn't me.
all right, so really quickly, guys. First off, if you have not watched this episode, please pause here, go watch the episode, come back. Secondly, there's a post-credit scene. Please watch the post-credit scene. I almost missed it. Thankfully, we had a Fenris that would be like, hey, maybe this is post-credit scene. Turns out there was a post-credit
That was a
scene.
moon.
Also, I'm hope. Yeah, that was me.
Why?
But,
Why
I'm
is?
hoping that.
Why is it back up? People are following. I turned this stuff off. Why is it still going? So, really quickly, brief description. Number one, this episode moves slowly, and that's actually not a bad thing.
No.
Also, it seems the trend of the slideshow stuff is starting to go away. There were a couple of moments where they did kind of like some slideshow shit, and it was kind of annoying, but nowhere. But it was not the whole episode again. So episodes 3 and 4, they are moving away from the slideshow stuff. So
Thankfully.
if they keep this trend up, we can stop calling it the slideshow after the end.
Which, to be fair, the way this story goes, it does ramp up a lot from beginning to end.
Yes, it
So,
does. Yeah, really does.
It does kind of make sense that it's like cheaper shit at the start. It gets better the more you go.
I do feel like this took longer in its anime format than it did in its comic and novel counterparts. Like I was expecting this to go quicker. I mean, it hit all the important moments that I wanted it to hit. It got all of that stuff. I was like, dude, if we don't get the chest pains, if we don't get the whole she's scared, you need to be in the tent with
Which
me because
very
I'm
glad we
scared,
had
but I
that,
won't
'cause
admit
that
that I'm
was so
scared.
cute.
Yeah,
Although I
they
don't-
got
why-
the
there
characters
was
right.
that weird moment of her face was stern looking, but she was still saying stuff. But they had that little chibi thing pop up. Why?
Because that's her inner thoughts. That's exactly how she's supposed to be looking.
Okay, it was her
Yeah.
inner thoughts. I couldn't remember if that was her inner thoughts or if something was up that I was
That's-
missing. I could
that's-
not remember.
That's her inner monologue. That's there's Tess and then there's inner Tess. And you have read enough of the
Inner
books.
Tess.
You have read enough of the books to know that Tess's inside voice way more aggressive.
Oh yes, extremely.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So that being said, yes, we have a lot more. This did go a little bit slowly than its counterparts, but I actually think that was a good thing. I think it was
Yeah.
cool to take our time for this. I do think that where it ends is kind of off-putting. I at least thought we would get the big reveal at the end.
I mean, we kind of did.
No, we
Although,
didn't.
I'm gonna be real.
You know what reveal
I said
specifically I'm
kind
talking
of.
about.
Oh, that reveal. Okay. No,
Yes.
yeah, that's coming. Obviously, I
Yeah.
think it's okay that we're gonna wait for the next episode for that.
Yeah.
But I was expecting Eleanor to look a little bit different. At least in my head, it looked different.
Yeah, same.
So when I'm seeing
Also,
it, I'm
we
like,
have to
"Eh,
remember-
it's not bad, but
Also,
eh."
we have to remember this is just one interpretation of Eleanor, and I've also seen the comics for Eleanor, which, by the way, once we get done with this, we are going to do a review of like the comics, so we're going to compare the anime to the comics.
I don't like that.
I am a little worried about watching the dub for the first 2 episodes, though,
Why do you say that?
because I'm going to pay way more attention to the animation because I'm not looking at subtitles.
That
That
is
is true.
fair. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I've actively been avoiding watching the dub because it's only up to the first 2 episodes at this point. And I'm like, I wouldn't necessarily feel bad starting off on episode 3 because at least then the animation quality jumps up. It ramps up quite a bit.
Could at least
I-
put on episodes 1 and 2 in the background while you're doing literally anything else, so you can hear it.
I know what's happening. Like I
Exactly.
know enough of the story to know what's going on without seeing what's going on. I don't need a slideshow after the end. All right. Yeah. Let's hear first from the anime onlys on their thoughts of this episode. Yeah, probably brief description. Starts, we hear a scream. Turns out, little girl being kidnapped by slaves. Arthur goes and saves.
Slavers.
Slavers, sorry. Yeah. Arthur goes and saves. Slices up a bunch of people. There's not a lot of blood and viscera and any of that stuff, and I expected most stuff like we'd hear something and it would be off screen because I'm like, okay, yeah, I know what we're working with here. I know what kind of anime this is. They're not gonna straight out show that stuff, and so
Which I was okay with that.
which I wasn't expecting that, so I was pleasantly I was okay with that. I was like, he's too young at this point, and like we're still in that childlike wonder point, even though yeah, this is a dude that's just murking people left and right.
Straight up.
Yeah.
And these were a bunch of dudes. One of them literally alluded to forcing himself onto this child, and that's like,
Well, not necessarily. When he says fun, I don't necessarily think I take it to that place first. I think torture first. Making
So
her
the
scream,
problem
making her
there
cry. And that's still
be
just as
fair,
bad. That's still
But
just
you remember
as bad.
the whole. Oh yeah, it's terrible. But there's
Yeah,
also
yeah.
the whole thing of like, if they're hurt, they're worth less. So
Yeah, I mean, hey, if they can't see the marks, that's all I'm saying.
true.
Also, if you think logic works on crazy people,
True. Also true.
God, I
Oh,
wish
yeah.
it did. Otherwise, I'd still have a girlfriend.
Ha!
anyhow, uh, so Art Freeze girl goes, all right, cool, see you later. Girl, like, no.
I can't go home alone. I am a child in the forest. What do you think you're doing? Well, I'm
And
trying to
then
get back
to
to my
Arthur,
family too.
to which Arthur looks at her and says, "Bitch, ain't nobody got time for that." And then she puppy dog face and he relents. So takes her
Yes.
on journey. They have fun journey. They go into Vagina Tree and end up in city.
And we are not pulling punches when we say vagina tree. That was
That's-
the first thing I thought when I saw that.
It was a veiny vagina.
very.
All right. Anyway, oh my god, that tree has pussy. That's the one time you don't want to hear "head towards the light." Also, speaking of which, I'm so glad they didn't do light at the end of the tunnel, which is an actual thing in the manga or in the novel that I forgot about. Like literally, he's like, "Oh, there's a light at the end of the tunnel," and he heads toward the light. That's literally him being born.
Yep.
Him coming
I
out
remember
the
that.
light of the
Oh.
tunnel is a fleshy tunnel between two thighs.
Oh
Yep.
Lord.
Yeah.
And he literally comments on that. He doesn't say thighs. He's like, it's too. I forgot the exact wording, but then it's all like. Then it gets to the point where he sees his dad and mom, and it's like, oh. Oh.
Yeah, it clicks for him.
Oh.
He's like, oh no, I know what that tunnel was. I can't throw up. That's thankfully, yes, but like also at the oh, yeah, it clicks for him. So, yeah.
Mm.
So the isekai tunnel for him is a vagina. It's great.
It's so funny.
Okay. But yeah, so let's go ahead and quickly go through all this stuff.
I like the wolf dog. I like that it moved. I'm interested to see why he thinks of the little elf girl as some other person who was shadowy, maybe an ex-lover or something. I don't know. I'm excited to see where that goes.
Oh,
Uh,
shit. Yeah, I can comment on that later. Yeah, go for it.
Mhm.
I like that, he made a friend, but apparently not friend, and I'm praying, little girl, you better behave.
Little girl, let me in.
Cause me thinking Art's gonna be like, hello, friend.
Also, finally, no chibi, no Arthur. It's just Art. He's finally Art. It's about
Mhm.
freaking time.
They're the same age. It'd be weird for her to call him little Arthur.
No, it absolutely would. But the thing is, to my recollection, nobody actually calls him Little Arthur, even in the events of the first
It
two
might
episodes.
be
No,
like
it
a
was
They
always
just-
Arthur or Art.
Art.
It
They
might
just
just be
called
a
him
Japanese
Art.
thing.
It definitely is a Japanese thing, but like
Yeah.
he's supposed to be Art. I mean, again, I haven't seen the dub, but that irks me. He's supposed to be just called Art. Like it's a cute little nickname, little Arthur. It's just Art. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Continue. That
I want the wolf antelope thing.
you want the Jack-a-Wolf.
Yeah, we have jackalope.
Why would you jack a wolf?
Why would you carjack? It's wolf jacking, dude.
Yeah,
You know why? For the floof.
yeah.
For the floof. It is an excellent pillow companion.
Hey, baby, look at him.
Oh no, he way too tall. The human is the baby.
He's still baby.
Okay. Also very helpful. Brought them a little piglet,
Yeah.
like a tiny
Was
boar.
like, you freed me. Have food. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Have some katsudon.
Exactly what that was.
That's what that. Yeah, pork cutlets tonight, baby. Yeah. All right.
Woo!
All right. So
If we ever
Fenris.
do an abridged of this, we're doing that. All right, pork baby.
I could think of some.
Oh.
Also, I think after our conversation with Explodacy, he'd really like working on this one because he's like, he's realizing he hates high budget anime because of like how insane the quality is. It's harder to like make changes visually to it. So he's like,
That
low
makes
budget
sense.
anime. Low budget anime is what much easier to abridge. All right. Go ahead,
I'm glad he
Fenris.
I'm glad he found Sylphie.
No, he hasn't.
Sylphie is the dragon.
No, that's Sylvia.
Sylvia, yeah, but yeah.
No.
I was-
That's
I was
Tess.
making a Mushoku Tensei reference.
Oh,
Oh.
I didn't know that there was a character named Sylphie.
technically
But,
yes.
It's part
Technically.
2, Electric Boogaloo.
It's Sylvie Part 2, Electric Boogaloo. No,
Yep.
this is Tess. This is Tessia, and she is very much not a Sylphie type. If we're comparing to
Definitely
Mushoku Tensei, no.
In fact, she's
I just see elf
quite
with
the
gray hair.
opposite of Sylvia in many ways.
No.
The first thing that came to mind.
Let me go ahead and clarify that real quick. Not gray, gunmetal.
Oh, we're getting fancy with our colors now.
No, literally that is how it's described the entire time in the novel, the comic, everything. It's gunmetal
Because that's
gray.
his only point of reference for that color
Yes,
too.
it's still gray.
It's gunmetal gray.
It's gunmetal.
It still ends in gray.
Gunmetal. So does he. But
Yeah.
yeah. Your point being,
Color.
And the only other thing I could think of throughout this entire episode was his mom going, "Oh, he fell off a cliff and came back with his sister," and his dad thinking he took a heroic leap of faith into the manhood to claim a fair maiden as his wife.
that's really, really funny that you assume he's coming home with her.
Yeah.
Okay, so also the other thing, if you guys didn't notice, when he was out and about doing his fighting and stuff, he no longer has the little arm sleeve tattoos.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, something
tattoos?
about that. Yeah, remember
Yeah,
at the
after
end of
the,
last episode?
After Sylvia did the thingy with his heart and manicure and stuff, he had arm tattoo looking
Oh.
thingies. Those are
Yeah,
gone
yeah, yeah.
now.
Those
Yeah,
are
no, I
gone now.
completely forgot.
Also, when she did all those, here's the thing: the stuff that's happening now in episode 4 might have something to do with episode 3. I'm not saying necessarily. I'm just saying causation might equal correlation here.
Uh-huh.
Got it.
It's a possibility. That's all I'm saying.
Saying it ain't happening, but it might be happening.
I'm not saying I'm saying. I'm just saying. All right. All right.
I
So
could say something, but I don't know if it would give it away.
yeah, Fenris, you got any other thoughts on this episode?
Nope.
Any moments? Okay, Moon.
Hmm.
You got any thoughts for this episode? Any particular moments that stand out? Blah blah blah.
I really did like that they slowed this episode down.
I
That
do
we got
too,
to actually
yeah.
spend time with Tessia, and we got to see these two connect. We got to see Arthur sit there and be like, "Is this what a kid is like?"
Yeah.
Huh.
And to be fair, yes, I understand that there's going to be that comparison between the two of there are going to be people mad that episode 3 like rushed through and it felt really short, and then episode 4 when we get this was like it really took its time and it seemed kind of boring. I'm going to tell you right now, as influential as Sylvia was, Tess is even more influential on him as a character and on him growing out of being just gray. Anyhow, so there is one thing that I want to point out, but unfortunately I can't talk too much about it. I will say at least this much, because they've been placing hints at future events, like very future events, like events that haven't happened for Moon yet. Events. They've been placing hints about those events, and I saw what you did, you bastards. I know. Don't think you're slick. I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. And I like it. Keep it up. That being said, yeah, so there was at least one event that alluded to the future. Also, there was a flashback moment from his old world of not two, actually. There was one with him just sitting by himself in the orphanage. And then there's another moment where he's older. And I'm not going to say anything else but this. There's a reason that moment keeps popping up in his memories. Like there's a reason he keeps visualizing that specific event. Because this is like, what, the second time that we've seen that moment? Possibly the third? Yeah. Anyhow, if you know, you know. That's and that's all we know. Alrighty. Do we want to chat about the animation this time around? I think it's much better. That's basically all I have.
Better, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
There's
Still some aspects of slideshowiness, but not as
Yeah.
much.
It was mostly to show the travel time of the carriage when the slavers were running. It was like the passage of time, and I'm like, you've reused this shot 3 times. Okay, the sky is slightly different each time. You're just showing the passage of time. Okay, gotcha. All right, I'm. It's annoying, but I can understand why you did it.
I also noticed at one point it was just PNG slide of the cart, and they spent like 2 seconds on that and quickly changed it.
Yeah, they were not trying to be there for forever. I don't know if they went back and fixed some shit, but they definitely are relying less on slideshow PNG stuff. And again, their CG in this has been really good because the wolves looked great. Also, so did the little magic collars. That was some good detail right there. So there are moments where they have some really good detail animation going on here.
I just wish they'd put more budget into it.
Well, the thing is, I think what's happening is that the animation style is trying to mirror the manhwa. And
Possibly.
yeah, there's that. That being said, I thought it was a pretty good episode. Let's go ahead and get everybody's ratings, starting with Hoshinage. What do you rate this out of 5 monocores? Out of 5 monocores, what do you rate it?
5. I give it a 4.
You have 4 monocores. Wait, are we on a scale of 1 to 10, or are we at 5 monocores? I think we're at 5 monocores or 5 stars, right?
I think we did 10 last time.
We did 10 last time.
We did 10 last time?
Mm-hmm.
All right, frick it. All right, out of a scale of 1 to 10 monocores, how many do you give it?
I give it 7 monocores. Yeah.
From 4 to 7. Okay, those are 2 distinctly different. 7 is like 3.5.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then 8.
Okay. All right.
Oh, wait, yeah. Oh.
Fenris?
I give it a 7.5.
Okay. Moon.
I'll give this one an 8.
Yeah, I'm kind of there with 8.5 on this one. Like, it was good. I really enjoyed it, and I hope they keep getting more of this. Also, if we just keep giving like 7s and 8s for the rest of the series, that's a good thing, guys.
Yeah,
That's a
it's not
very good
bad.
thing. Yeah,
So long as we're not giving this 5 and below,
yeah.
we should, like, it's not a bad anime. It's
Thankfully,
just,
it's
we
not
had
the
better thoughts.
It's not the doom and gloom. And so far, it's just been the first 2 episodes that have been slideshowy. That being said, Moon, I did recently add another one to the list, another isekai, because I realized, we should probably watch this. This is also a high dive one. Reincarnated as a sword. I think you should check that out.
I've already watched that.
Oh, you have? Oh. It's good though, right?
Oh, yeah, it's great. I fucking
Yeah,
love it.
okay. Yeah, it was so good. All right, that being said, those are our reviews and our thoughts, but we want to know what your thoughts on this episode are. We'd love to hear what you liked, what you didn't like, what's your rating, all that stuff. Let us know in the comments below. And as always, we will see you on the next one. And hopefully, we will finally figure out how to do a review for episodes of freaking Apothecary Diaries. Yeah. Anyway, I'm Richie Roberts. I'm here with Moonlight Sparks,
Hey.
Fenris Arun, and Hoshi Nugget.
Hello, hello.
Yep. And we just want to say, watch more anime. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh.